You are all set.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Carrie Mocyk. I'm one of the instructional designers on campus. We also have here Theresa Gilliard-Cook and Douglas Hemphill and Jay High. We are all part of the Division of Extended Learning instructional design team, and Jay High is the videographer, Jason High. I wanted to take this opportunity today to show you the Instructional Design Innovation and Ideas website. There's a couple different ways to get to this website, but I thought I would start. A lot of people know that we're associated with the Division of Extended Learning, so I wanted to start there. On their homepage, they do have an instructional design page on that main navigation, and it brings you to this page here. I need to fix one thing real quick, sorry. Oh, okay, that's better. All right, so this website, I often search for it using Google, doing SUNY Oswego, innovation and ideas. It will bring you to this page exactly, but if you need to find it through the extended learning, then that's the other way. So what we've done is we have created a website that is available for faculty to review and learn about the different services that we have to offer. We do have, as a general overview, we have some different trending topics. We talk about how we can help and some online course development information that's really helpful. Any upcoming workshops or things that we've done in the past. So you could review what we've done in the past or anything upcoming. And then we'll also talk a little bit about our Brightspace support, and Jason High is here to talk about his video services. So getting started, as I said, this has been created to provide assistance and support materials. We talk about what is instructional design and what instructional designers do. And the biggest thing is everything is based within the science of learning, learning theories, psychology, cognitive educational psychology, information processing. So our lens is potentially different than different other people on campus. Other, from faculty to our lens, they can vary. So we're looking at things from a different lens, is what I'm trying to say so poorly. Um, so what do instructional designers do? We offer a lot of different supports on services. At Oswego, we help with online course development. We offer some one-on-one consultations regarding online teaching and learning, as well as full course reviews. And we're going to talk more about that in just a moment. And our role, we came up with this. We're here to collaborate with faculty to optimize their subject matter expertise and teaching experience using evidence-informed best practices, instructional strategies, and technology. And then there's information about the team, if you ever need to look that up. And I guess we'll just start at the top. We have these trending topics. And guess what's here? It's AI. So what we did here is we have a section on what is artificial intelligence. This page here is definitely a generalized overview of what generative AI is. And it talks about the benefits and the drawbacks, a little bit about prompt engineering. And so this is a quick way to learn just the basics of AI very quickly. And then we also have this artificial intelligent resources. And this is something that Theresa worked to gather. And Theresa, could you just explain what is in here?
Sure, Carrie. So within this document, what we do try to do is keep it up to date. We do try to bring in new resources as we find them or they're brought to our attention. And we're trying to keep it succinct because there is so much out there that it can be so incredibly overwhelming. So what we try to do is keep it simple, and by creating the table of contents at the beginning of the document, at least you can take a look and see maybe there's a specific area that you want to look at. And so hasn't been updated in about 6 weeks. So it's due for an update again, just again, find other materials. But if faculty and staff find materials that they think are interesting and would be beneficial for others, they can certainly let us know about them. This document is also linked to the college's AI page and also linked from the library in the AI LibGuide.
Okay. So we're going to be adding different trending topics as they come about, trying to offer some quick assistance in providing information about different trending topics. If you are ever looking for our accessible syllabus that a lot of faculty on campus know about, you can click on this link and make a copy of it to save to your Google Drive. We have some information about a liquid syllabus, and Theresa, could you speak on that?
The idea of a liquid syllabus is to help humanize fully online courses. So it can be a living, breathing document that can quickly change. And it also allows students to view the course syllabus prior to them being able to access it in a learning management system. So in our case, with fully online courses, we usually ask faculty to please open their courses a week prior to the start of the semester, because it allows students to get an idea of if they're in the right course and if they have the time to dedicate. But by having a liquid syllabus, you can always provide that to any student, and it gives them an opportunity to see what the course is about. And it's not contingent on having access to a learning management system.
All right. So then the next portion of this page, this website, we have how we can help. So it speaks of our goal to collaborate with faculty in the creation of effective, engaging, asynchronous online learning experiences. It talks about the ability to have asynchronous course development support, course reviews, hybrid course development support, high flex course development support, and also any faculty requested consultation. And if you click on any of these links, it's going to take you further down on the page, and it shares all of the different options you have, whether you would like a full support for online course development, where you work with us, have different meetings through different milestones. We do require one full semester to prepare for a full support online course development course. We also have express online course development support, and this would be an instance as maybe you've taught online before, but you would like to work with us to, you know, to get assistance as you work through your next course. And a lot of times it can be difficult to imagine how the course could work in an online environment. So we can offer consultations in sharing information on how that could happen. There are some really creative ideas out there, and it is very interesting for us to assist you in making those things come to life. And then the last one here mentioned is the course refresh. So sometimes you decide that it's time to refresh all of your materials and you would like us to go through. It is nice. We are another set of eyes. We look at the content from the end user. So if something is confusing to us, then it might be confusing to the students. We can assist with, clarification of directions and things like that, it's just hard to catch everything, and the instructional design team can assist in helping you provide a learning experience for the students, a great learning experience. Improved, wrong terminology. All right, so then it goes into more about the course reviews. Um, this talks about the hybrid course development support and the high flex. Theresa, would you like to talk about high flex?
Um, we have to be careful with high flex because at this point there is no policy pertaining to high flex. But what we have had is we have had some departments do some piloting. High flex course development is challenging because you're actually teaching a single course in 3 modalities at the same time. So you're looking at a face-to-face, synchronous online, and asynchronous online. And so it's a challenge. Some of our colleagues in strategic communication have been doing that. They have opted to pilot as a program, and those are the different that's one way to implement high flex. This is something that should be discussed with your department chair and your dean to determine if the course you want to teach would be a good fit for this modality.
Okay. And then this is the faculty requested consultations, that peer-to-peer learning discussions about how students could work together. There's a list of different areas, topics that we could cover, but pretty much if you have a question about different strategies to use for your online course, we are absolutely willing to have those conversations with you. And we'll talk about how to reach out to us in a little bit. We do have some knowledge-based documents, resources that is going to, we continually work to improve and add to those. And let's move on to the next section. So online course development, um, it talks about the asynchronous online course development, how in the online classroom, your role becomes more of a facilitator and a guide. Lectures are going to look a little bit different, and how how the students engage in the materials asynchronous will look different. We also speak about the online learning compliance and basic expectations. This was a guide to assist faculty when developing and updating or revising an asynchronous course. Theresa, would you like to speak on that?
So this document was created by the Division of Extended Learning and with the instructional design team and our assistant dean, Greg Ketchum. And this document has been reviewed and pushed out by the deans to departments and faculty. This document, I just want to be clear, is a living, breathing document. Things will change over time. What we did do recently was look at this document and then find the alignment to Oswego's Oscar, which is a version of SUNY's Oscar. Oscar is Open SUNY Course Quality Review or Course Quality Rubric. I always have to remember that whole thing. So what we did do, like I said, is we showed in many of these cases which standards align to Oscar. And that can be really helpful. Our goal is to continue to build on this and over time provide more documentation and knowledge-based articles to help faculty think this through, as well as creating other materials for faculty to use to help them in their course development process. And one of the things we do stress about all of these materials is that they can be beneficial for faculty teaching in any modality, not just asynchronous online, but our focus is asynchronous online, synchronous online, hybrid, and high flex.
All right. And then also in
Is
here
there
is about,
anything in the asynchronous online form that you just showed us about online proctoring for exams?
No, Michael. Again, online proctoring is something that should be discussed with your department chair and your dean. There are issues with online proctoring, particularly barrier issues for some students. So those conversations need to be held there. We do not discuss that in any way, shape, or form because that is outside our scope.
okay. And then this next one is regular and substantive interaction. And it talks about in September 2022 or 2020, U.S. Department of Education issued final rules on distance education and innovation. And essentially it's requiring that there is some interaction between the faculty and the students, between the students and the instructors. And we do have some resources available on what that actually looks like, and also probably shares what it doesn't look like. Let's take a look. This is another one that Theresa had been working on. So instructor initiated, go ahead, Theresa.
Yeah, that's okay. So what you'll find here is, again, there's a broad overview that explains the three broad characteristics of RSI, as we tend to call it, and what it is not. The second document provides ideas and suggestions on the different type of interaction you could have with your students. And again, this is a topic that we welcome conversation on, because every course is different, and sometimes just brainstorming with somebody else can be extremely helpful. One of, I think, the strengths of having those consultations with the instructional design team is that we don't know your subject matter, which can be a really helpful thing because we can help think outside the box of what you might have been doing. Because again, when you think about if you've taught face-to-face and you're going to teach online, it's not always an easy transition or translation of those activities. So having conversation with us pertaining particularly to regular and substantive interaction can be helpful. This is a federal regulation, so it is important that with our asynchronous online courses that it is viewable if we are ever asked, we as an institution are ever asked, do these courses meet these guidelines?
So Theresa has also been working on Oswego's Oscar for online course review. Theresa, do you want to speak once more?
So what we did is we created we took SUNY's Oscar rubric and we tweaked it for Oswego. But one of the things that we heard from faculty was the fact that it was kind of difficult because they were looking for something that was evaluative in some way, shape, or form. So what we did was work with Oscar, come up with come up with some scoring, and I'm going to go, Carrie, if you want to go to the document that it provides the overview. Oh, you're there. I'm sorry. And the last page, because that's where this is the new the evaluative system we came up with. Again, it's very much a draft, and we would welcome feedback. But we're hoping that this would be helpful to faculty who are looking for that numeric information. Again, like with any rubric, it is subjective. And the other thing we do encourage is using fractional scores. So in other words, if you're looking at one particular item and it's there, but it could be better. So maybe it's a 1.5 as opposed to a 2 or a 1. Again, but we haven't had enough feedback on it to really know if this is going to work, and we would welcome that. But we do use the rubric for full course reviews when we are asked. And it does seem to be helpful. We have gotten some positive feedback on that. And we would love more if anybody is interested in working with us. We can use this rubric for not only asynchronous online courses, but we can use it for synchronous online courses, hybrid and high flex. And I've used it to actually do course review for high flex courses. It does have to be tweaked a little bit in the sense that maybe not all 47 items are applicable. So that does tweak the scoring a little bit, but that can be done on a case-by-case basis.
Okay. All right, so then the workshops, this is something that we've been working towards this past year to put together. There will be some workshops available as soon as they are complete. But I do want to mention that we do have a lot of different sessions through the spring and winter breakouts offered through CELT. So we do have a link that takes you to the CELT page. So if you were looking for any information from us, there's a lot of different YouTube videos available of things that we've covered before. Brightspace on-demand support. We offer office hours, Zoom office hours, every Monday and Thursday from 1 to 3. That information can be found on our DLE website. I'm going to show that to you in just a moment, but skipping back up to the top, if you have any questions or need technical assistance related to Brightspace, you can go to CTS, their Team Dynamics self-service portal, and I'll show that to you. And put in a help desk ticket. We do ask that you use the help desk tickets to communicate with us as far as questions and troubleshooting anything. This is the one that we are more, the response will be faster because there's Kathy, Doug, and myself that are monitoring it throughout the day. If it goes into our email, we just can't guarantee that we'll get to it in the same manner. And we do request that it goes through the ticketing system. It's really good for tracking when we have a lot of things going on at the beginning of the semester, things like that. So just be aware that that's there. You can also email help@oswego.edu to get to that page. And then going to this help and support, to get here, it's oswego.edu. You can /DLE, but it's the digital learning environment. It also offers an option to log into Brightspace if you ever needed that. This help and support is very Oswego specific. Come on. And it shares our Zoom office hours. And it is something that you do not need an appointment for. You can just stop in at any point and ask your question. Just yesterday, we had faculty come in. They had a question about how to set up a quiz. They left for an hour, joined back into the Zoom session and said, did I do it right? This is a great use of the office hours. So just know that these times are available. If that does not work for you, then you can put in a help desk ticket and we'll work around the schedule that can work for you. We also show the days that it's canceled due to staffing issues or things that are coming up. Okay. And this last piece that I wanted to talk about is actually going to be about Jason High's services. And Jason's here to share a little bit about what he has to offer.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jason High. I'm the academic videographer here in the Division of Extended Learning. Part of my job responsibilities are to work with the ID team, who are all here today, as well as you, the faculty member. I have worked with nearly 70 faculty members since I have arrived here on campus in May of 2016. It's almost been 9 years now. And at that point, I've produced nearly 500 videos through in various programs, various courses, a few face-to-face, mostly online. And what I do is, if you're interested, we'll get together with each other. I have a set list of questions. I normally produce just instructor bios for your courses, a little bit for your students so they get to know you a little bit, especially in the online platform. They may not see you very much other than maybe discussions or office hours that you may have, as well as a little nuts and bolts about the course. Before they take the course, when they register, they can click on the video that you'll have in Brightspace. They can get to know about the journey that they're about to take with you. So those are the two main videos I do. I do not do like long form lectures, but I actually did a presentation almost about a week and a half ago as part of the cell breakout sessions here. And I touch on various topics of wardrobe, lighting, different cameras that will help you improve if you produce your own videos on your own. And I'm going to throw that link to my presentation in the chat now. That's that. I don't know if that's ever been done where we are in one presentation and we throw a link to another cell presentation. This is unprecedented, possibly. So we're breaking new ground here in extended learning. So as part of that, I have a QR code, and if you have any interest in working with me, I have a work request form, and I'm going to include that in the chat now. And it's basically just a nuts and bolts telling me what you're interested in doing. There's a few set list of questions on, where you want to shoot. Is it in your office? Is it a space on campus that I can reserve? I use multiple cameras. There's usually a GoPro involved. I have the ability of using a teleprompter based on the set list of questions that I will initially send you when we first start chatting on email. And you can base a script on those questions. They usually flow very nicely from one to the next, to the next, to the next. It kind of eliminates the ums, the ahs, kind of gives me an idea of what you're going to be talking about. So if I need to pull any video imagery or video clips in advance, I can do that. It also really helps with captioning if you have a script, because I can refer to that script when I upload the final product into Panopto. So from there, as part of being the videographer, I will go and I'll make edits to those captions to make them nearly 100% accurate for you, because accessibility is very important in the work that I do. And it's just something you will not have to worry about, your captions for your videos in your content with me. In that presentation, there's I touch on a new tool that has been around a few years, since 2019, but COVID kind of put the kibosh on that for 18 months until we kind of got back to more of a face-to-face setting. And the light board is basically an illuminated pane of glass with LED lights around the side. And this will really be the only portion of like a long-term lesson video that I would work with you on. And you can draw certain lessons or certain topics that students aren't really grasping, and we can present that to them in a video format. So I'm going to send the link to the Lightboard request as well. But again, refer to the presentation. You'll really see an example of it in use from one of our faculty members here on campus, Dr. Sarah Bonzo, in the division, or excuse me, in the School of Business. But it'll really break down what it is, what it does, and how it can be beneficial for you. So that's a little bit about me, and I will toss it back to Carrie.
Okay, so that is our website. It is definitely something that we're continually working on, and we'll, as different things come up, we will work to improve and do our best to meet the needs of what faculty are looking for, online faculty. Theresa or Doug, is there anything that you'd like to add to what I've said so far or throughout this? No? Okay, does anyone have any questions about what you saw? Anything about what kind of support we can offer, anything like that? Okay. All right, well, if that is it, then
Great, thank you.
We're all set. All right.
Thank you, everybody. I'll stop.
Everyone.